Hey everyone, Dallas here. Something you need to know, during the making of this video, my husband was diligently working on some woodworking, which was happening right below my studio here outside the window. So you may hear the faint sound of a saw in the background, but don't be worried. At the end of this video, I'm going to show you what he was working on, and it's here in my room. So enjoy the paint and paper samples that I'm showing you today. Okay, we are in my studio, and some of you have seen what's happening behind me right here. We are testing whites on my wall for our swatches, and this helps actually because you'll be seeing videos from my studio, and I want to capture on film what you're going to be best able to see depending on the white. I'll let you know when we've made our decision, or maybe you'll just see all of a sudden a painted wall and we'll be done and good to go. Okay, today folks, you get to come along with me and look through my Blick art materials haul. I needed some new watercolors, so obviously I took the opportunity to snag a couple of sale items. So go ahead, hop in here with me, and I'm sort of gonna walk you through the process. Papers. I got a Blick watercolor. It says cold press and it says acid free. It's made in the US and it's outstanding quality for all watercolor techniques. This is a 9x12 size. You can see how big that is compared to my face. What I noticed about the texture of this paper is that it's a little smoother than some of my other cold press. Okay? I'm trying to give you an idea of the texture. It's a little smoother, dare I say, very close to a hot press with the way it feels. It's pretty homogeneous on both sides. They're about the same texture on both sides. So there's that product. Okay, second paper I got was this Strathmore watercolor. It is also cold press, and it's also acid free, heavyweight, and it is for wet media. It's 12 sheets. Prices linked down below in the description box. They won't always be on sale, but it will give you a good idea for what you're looking for price. Okay, so this is a little bit rougher, I'm seeing. A little bit. It's still a pretty smooth paper, and I would also say pretty homogeneous like the Blick watercolor. So, same size, 9x12. But this is spiral bound, the other one is just a pull off the seal situation. Seal. Same exact paper, just larger size. So this is also 12 sheets. It's 11x15. And again, I'll link the usual price, and then I'll link what I got it for on sale. I believe those were 40% off. Blick art materials in store. I don't know if that is also the online, but I could check for you. Okay, moving on to watercolors. Pardon me. How am I even gonna organize this? All right, we've got, okay, I gotta show you these colors up close. This is the Winsor & Newton Sap Green. It says a permanent sap green, so I think that's due to the types of pigments that they put in it, because this is a mixed color. It has several pigments in it. To contrast that, or maybe not, I got the sap green from Daniel Smith. I'm just gonna see what it looks like against the permanent sap green from Winsor & Newton. So I know for sure that I really do like this yellow color. This is a warm yellow. This is New Gamboge from Winsor & Newton. excellent color, so I bought more in this tube this time. It's a good rule of thumb that if you're not sure about a color, just get the 5 milliliter so you can test it out. Don't break your bank with a color that you don't like. Okay, so this is a transparent yellow. This is Winsor & Newton, and I'm excited to try a transparent yellow versus something like a cadmium that's a little bit more opaque. Okay, for my cool yellow, I got the Hansa Yellow Light, and it's probably comparable to a lemon color. They do have a lemon color too, but I did want to try a Hansa Light. My Winsor Red. So I wanted something that wasn't magenta, and I wanted to try something other than my permanent carmine from Winsor & Newton. So I want to try out that. I talked a little bit about the magenta, and this is something I'm going to test. I usually get the Winsor & Newton magenta, quinacridone magenta, but this time I thought I'd try Daniel Smith, and I should have, now I'm realizing, should have gotten the 5 milliliter. This is the 15 milliliter. So for my warm red, it's gonna seem silly, but I actually got something called an orange. I was looking for their Pyrrole orange, which I didn't find their Pyrrole orange, but I found a transparent orange. So I'm hoping that this renders as a warm red and a little bit, teeny bit more on the orange side. So we'll see about that. And to round out my haul on paints, I decided to get an indigo. So this is a mixed pigment. You know what? Actually, it's not. Nope, it is a mixed pigment. Here, right here on most professional grade tubes, you have the information for light fastness and pigment number. So the crazy thing about watercolors is that, well, in all pigments in general, they each have for what the pigment is, there is a code. So between brands, you can actually find the same pigment through the pigment number. One scarlet in one brand could look different from a scarlet in another brand. So be aware of that, and you can check out more about that on their website. Winsor & Newton has a great website. Daniel Smith has a great website too. So now that I've showed you my paint, why don't we get these guys out and swatch them out and see what they look like. All right, so here's how I have set up my palette. I really like to get a cheap, as white as possible plate, ceramic plate just from a thrift store to do my palette work on. They're very affordable, and what I like about them is that you could just wipe them off or let these paints dry and stack a bunch of plates and put them and store them in a container when you're not using them.